Hello! Welcome to another episode of Mistresses of Mayhem, the all-female Halloween Horror Nights podcast that goes hard all year. Maybe. That was pretty good, right?
That was great. I like that. We
good
did
enough.
Go pretty hard. And by go hard, I mean I sleep a lot.
Sure. I am joined by all of the co-hosts today. Joining me is Mel's, the incomparable.
Oh, hi, podcast people. So anyways, how was your life?
I'm also joined by Darcy.
Hello.
Oh, that was so kawaii desu.
I know. The mysterious Connie.
That was Melody that said that.
Exactly.
Hi, I am here.
I thought it was going to be great because I said mysterious and you just didn't say anything. I was like, perfect. And of course, Shelby of Shelby Denim Art is joining us tonight.
I want to die.
That's fair.
The queen
Don't we all?
to die.
Great start. Okay, so today we have a very loose itinerary to follow.
Wait, what'd you just call me?
We're going to engage in some, what I'm calling, and I've literally written in my notes, half-hearted speculation. No one knows what's going on in here yet. No. And whenever we get into it, we'll also be discussing some awful, terrible, / horrible entertaining movies that we can see as houses or not. We just think they're bad and want to talk about them. So that's kind of...
Indeed.
That's just how much we don't have to talk about this year.
Listen,
so,
we have to resort to talking about movies with $2,700 budgets.
I have a 25-page treatment for a House and Horror Nights based on Tommy Wiseau's classic The Room.
Oh my god, I would go though. I would go.
Oh, are you kidding? If I
volunteered to play Tommy Wiseau in this house.
That's what I should be. Like, I want to play Tommy, or I could be a Tommy puppeteer because he doesn't look alive in the movie. So.
Right. I was about to say, we need an infinite Tommy's room where they do like the mirror and there's just
oh my god, like in 2014's Halloween maze.
Yes.
But it's Tommy Wiseau.
And the trigger is just, oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark.
No, if you guys have seen The Disaster Artist, there's a point where Greg Sestero is reading the script, right? And he's hearing like all the lines in the room, like in an echoey, like he's reading it in his head way. It would be that like bite. Oh my god. Just all of the lines. Wow, we already got on a tangent.
I was about to say tangent number 1, The Room, check.
Well, I'm reading the Disaster Artist book right now, and like I forced my roommates to watch it. Who reads it?
Greg Sestero himself.
Oh, good. I love him, so I think he's great.
And he does, hands down, the best verbal Tommy Wiseau impression that anybody can do, so it's perfect.
Of course, they're practically married.
It's beautiful. I ship them. Mm-hmm. The Disaster Artist was really gay. Does anyone else think that?
Yeah.
Oh, it was completely gay.
It was so gay. I was like, please.
They were brothers. His
creepy.
brothers playing them, and I was still like, it's gay.
Yeah, Connie and I were the same way. We were in there like holding hands and screeching. We were the only ones in there. Like, this is so almost incestuous gay, but I can forget that they're brothers because they look really different.
Yeah, I actually saw Disaster
Okay, girl,
Artist,
don't lie though. There were people behind us who probably hated us a lot.
There were just those two people. That was it.
I saw like the first night the Disaster Artist opened, like in like major cities in Nashville, and it's like it was in like this historic theater, so it was like really fancy. We're like watching the Disaster Artist, and there was a showing of The Room directly afterwards. So it was like lots of people who like knew the lines and everything. So that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, well I went to the Room Fathom event, and I mean I didn't realize that there were like official callbacks yet, but there are.
There are, yeah.
And quite a few of them, and they were really good. And now that I know them, I can't wait to go to another screening. Also, when did the Shadowcast start? I want to play Denny.
You in a Danny wig would be like amazing. I said Danny, it's Denny.
I want to be Denny so badly. He's my. I want that scene with Chris R. That's what I want to Shadowcast the most.
Yes.
So my grandmother looks exactly like Lisa's mom.
Oh
no!
Like exactly like her.
That's who that would be.
Beautiful.
That would be my shadow cast dream part. Would be Claudette. I'm obsessed with her. That or the flower shop woman.
The test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
Yep, that's my grandmother.
Oh, no. Okay, well, before we get off on just the room in general, I did want to throw a couple of things out there that actually pertain to Horror Nights. So this is something I just thought of right now because we were talking about shows with callbacks and stuff. We're obviously down one show this year.
Wonder what
Bring back Rocky Horror, god damn it.
And I'm not necessarily alluding to bringing that back. Do y'all have any clue or any like thing you would want to be that show?
Evil Dead the Musical.
Oh, I was literally about to say that.
Yes.
Yep.
I love that show like so much.
I've seen it.
Connie, your mic went out.
Oh no, Connie's
You're
unmuted.
muted.
She could be peeing. Leave her be.
Okay, well, we'll save it. We'll save
We here are true professionals.
Wendy's drive-through, the monorail, the bathroom.
The Wendy's drive-through.
That was truly an incredible time. I think that was like the first episode. I was like, what a way to set the tone.
Wait a second. That was the second episode, and I had to be at the Wendy's drive-thru. I was hungry.
That's fair. Okay. I actually have a couple of things besides the Evil Dead musical, but the Evil Dead musical is almost like super ideal because it's a horror property, but it's funny, and there's a splash zone for blood.
Yes.
Yes.
Like it would be.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only thing I think is that it's way too long. Like they
could cut it. Yeah.
They cut down Rocky Horror pretty well for the tribute show. They could easily do it with Evil Dead the musical.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like they did a great job of bridging Rocky the way that they did. Fans still knew what was going on. People who hadn't seen it, it was still very entertaining and high energy. I think Evil Dead could be the same. They wouldn't be able to use actual red blood. The splash zone makes me cry, but other than that,
well, they could do it like they did not Scary Farm. They could do water.
Yeah,
true.
Actually, no. Exactly. That
was red.
I mean, honestly, it's sort of, I don't want to say tradition, but there's so many large-scale Halloween events that have some type of pop culture roast show. I have a feeling that concept is going to come back somehow. I don't think it's going to be just like Bill and Ted, but I think whatever show replaces Bill and Ted spiritually will be another recurring pop culture roast style show. Yeah. Like The Hanging.
Yeah. Oh god, The Hanging is so
as terrible as Fiends is, like Fiends, something along those lines, because there's just so many of them around.
Right.
Yeah, true.
It's just like, because that's the thing about Horror Nights is it takes a lot of those like traditional haunt elements and kind of amps them up to 10, like
right.
So having that roast show, I agree, is like a very big part of what these events have become. But it's also just fun. Like I personally, there's this rock opera musical about Lizzie Borden that I really love. Whoa. It's just called Lizzie.
That sounds awesome.
And
that's a lot to process.
It's a 4-person. It's all girls. It's a 4-person show.
So we could do it.
Of course.
That's gonna be our final episode ever. We're just gonna do a production of that and live stream it.
That would be actually amazing. Y'all joking, but I'm actually about to try to set a showing of that. Like I'm about to try and license it like here in Nashville. But I think that would be super fun. It's kind of this darkly funny, but also like very horror influenced, and it's very rock and roll. Like it's not like a musical theater piece. It's a rock opera.
Right.
Yeah. And what they do when she chops up her parents is they get watermelons and fill them with spaghetti, and she hacks it up.
Amazing. That's great.
Beautiful.
So there would be a bit of a splash zone there too. So I personally would love to see Lizzie come to the show, and there's also lesbians if that matters for anyone. So
perfect.
Lizzie's super gay.
Yeah, but people will get offended.
Oh yeah, but this
that's
concept
true.
Just keeps getting better. Like it's completely unrealistic and way too obscure for a Horror Nights show.
Completely.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. But like theoretically, I would love to see the standard Horror Nights crowd be faced with a 4-woman show involving a spaghetti splash zone and lesbians.
Well, and it's of course
about
the cool thing is
murder.
Right. And the first act they wear like the historical costumes, to the second act they're all in like sexy like rock star.
Perfect.
I'm down. It's great. If honestly, this is just a huge plug for Lizzie because it's not very well known, but it should be. It's amazing.
Tangent number 2.
It wasn't a tangent. It was on topic to what we were doing.
It was on topic, but it included a little advertisement. Speaking of which, come play an escape room at Dare to Escape Kissimmee.
we're always like
the local library.
We're always plugging like local library. I go see your local production of Evil Dead. It's getting more and more popular.
Actually, way more realistically, buy Shelby's fucking art.
Please. For
yes.
real.
Seriously.
Like, none of this other shit matters. Buy Shelby's art.
I think, hey, can I ask you a question, Shelby?
No. Guess
okay.
what?
Am I the only one getting your daily sketches right now?
There's 2 people.
Okay.
It's you and another girl. That's it. I only have 2 patrons.
They're so good.
Oh my gosh.
They're
Support
so
Shelby on
Yeah, for
Patreon.
real. Some of us are really broke college kids.
What's that?
Listen,
I didn't realize you had a Patreon.
Yeah. Donate.
I've been posting about it like every day for the last 4 or 5 days.
How have I missed that?
Doesn't check my Twitter either.
Guys need to get on top of that. I guess no one's paying attention to Twitter. Everyone's all focused on like the Super Bowl and I guess Harry Potter. I don't know. It's just this weird lull that no one's paying attention.
Girl, draw more Harry Potter then. Feed what they want. Draw Harry Potter playing the Super Bowl if that's what it takes.
The Quidditch Super Bowl.
Draw Harry Potter playing the Super Bowl, please.
But no, I've been drawing like Horror Nights for Patreon, and well, today was Disney. But yeah, I do.
I might actually.
Good man.
Go check it right now.
Yeah, everyone, please go support Shelby. She's so talented, and we love her.
Bless you.
Yes.
She's
okay, so Connie, do you have any, you kind of muted out on us when we started talking about this. Do you have any ideas for a show replacement for the coming year?
Okay, is that what we're talking about? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
there was the first, like, I don't know how long we've been doing this. I guess 15 minutes. I couldn't hear anything anyone was saying. So I'm just trying to, like, troubleshoot everything that was going on. So I missed a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, you're loud and clear now, so.
I had to move to the living room. I had to kick my roommates out of the living room on accident because I needed the Wi-Fi. They aren't angry. They keep telling me through their eyebrows.
Oh, please stop standing on me.
Okay, show to replace Bill and Ted.
Yes.
Yeah. I would like to see a fear factor. Like, I know we have fear factor, but like a real fear factor.
A real fear.
Where like they actually kill people.
That's what I have to say.
But
actual death.
That would be an easy fix to the sign. All you have to do is put the real.
Yeah. The real fear factor. Yeah, it's like the real fear factor, and you have to sit down and take like a government standardized test
about what you're afraid of.
Because
do your taxes
without the test is what you're afraid of. You have to do the test, and then you have to go to a party where you don't know anybody.
Wait, are you saying you would just have people sit down and take the ACT?
Yeah, basically. But worse, maybe something like that's also stupid and full of terrible examples, like the
like the ACT.
Or the GRE, the GMAT, that thing you have to take for masters.
Okay.
School.
So,
I'm a youngin', so
just things that people don't like doing. Just make it that as a show.
Taxes.
It'll be a great
funny.
Eater.
Not
Actually,
to like.
I have a way better idea. No replacement show. Instead, it's a giant conveyor belt that leads people into a meat grinder, and that's really going to make the crowd lower.
Oh my god!
Perfect.
Like when you get like the wall in the movie when they're singing, you know, the "We don't need no education" and the students are falling into the meat grinder.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have in my head, and it's like all the horrible fans and all the regular, like everyone that we never want to see again goes to see the show opening night, and they go into the meat grinder.
They say it's Bill and Ted, but it's not.
They say, "Oh yeah,
it's false advertising."
Oh my god, that's an even better idea. We're gonna pretend that Bill and Ted is back, and then we're gonna meat grind the Bill and Ted fanboys.
Surprise! You're dead.
Oh no.
Surprise, motherfucker! You're Horror Night sausage now. Oh my god! And then they can use the sausages from the ground meat in Mardi Gras.
Okay, I was happy there, but it's not because I don't love you. I'm just tired of sausage. I don't like sausage. Okay, I don't want it everywhere.
Wow, Connie. So really, the only issue you have with this whole statement is that you don't like sausage?
Could it be pepperoni? I like pepperoni pizza. Could it be ground beef?
Okay, we'll make a pepperoni out of people then. God.
Yeah, we'll add them to the pizza fries.
Oh my god, the pizza fries.
I hate it.
Pizza fries are people.
You guys don't understand. Like the concept of pizza fries is like not that novel. Like there's a restaurant that I go to in my hometown all the time, and we get them like every time we go there. Like
it's just loaded fries.
I see them on Facebook from Tasty like every 3 days.
It's not that like, I mean, they're good, but it's not that like unusual. It's not like a twisted tater or something that you can like only get at HHN. It's like, why does everyone
like we literally go to the freaking poutine stand in Disney Springs and get a better version of pizza fries?
Exactly.
I waited like maybe 30 minutes one night for pizza fries. It was ridiculous. And the line wasn't even that long. It was just they had to back up in the kitchen. And I waited way too long for a mediocre piece of food.
I was about to say, they all looked really sad in pictures. Like, I was like, Superheroes pizza fries are like 10 times better looking.
Way too much sauce on them. I just
Oh no.
I already don't like tomato sauce. Yeah.
I miss, you know what I miss though? I miss the pizza with the hot dog and the crust.
Oh my god.
Did that not come back this year?
I couldn't find it.
Interesting. I know that's a holy grail item for a couple people, so.
Yeah, so was liquor, but you know.
Oh yeah. Well,
that was like the most savage quick roast.
Yeah, for real. Well, Shelby, you weren't with us for our
we haven't gotten your review.
Your 27 postmortem. Do you have any like general thoughts to throw out about it?
I don't remember most of it.
That's fair. We all kind of agree that it was just a weird.
Not that I was drinking, but I just don't remember it because it wasn't that memorable.
Yeah.
The most memorable part of it for me was the fact that like my fame went to a completely new level and freaked me out because there were people every night. Hey, you're Shelby. You do the art. I'm like, yeah, and I like had a panic attack. It was great.
I had someone yell at me across freaking Krusty Burger. Hey, you're that Irish dance girl. I'm dead serious.
That's so crazy.
Yell at me anything. I'm not popular and I don't have a fandom.
Blessing in disguise.
Honestly, I wish I could go back under the radar. I doomed myself with the green hair, but that was me.
Well, Connie, I'll never forget how cute it was when you were like, yeah, it's so much more fun going with you because everyone manhandles us.
It's true.
I got a lot of public, you're not man enough for my Borkita. And I was like, miss me with that shit.
I mean, you definitely had one of the like kind of star roles in a house this year. So it was like everybody knew.
You had like
it was so great. I love
the most iconic scare.
I mean, I got to Thorpe for 2 months. I can't complain.
Yeah. Real. Okay, so let's get into our half-hearted speculation. Now that we've kind of trampled on a lot of things already. So there's already, of course, been some properties thrown out. As some of us know, maybe a lot of people seem to think otherwise, IPs are the first thing that gets secured for Horror Nights so they can do all the legal negotiations and everything. So a lot of these are going to be IPs that people have been tossing out for a couple of months now. I don't know how. The news has been slow as molasses.
Yeah.
I'm not from the South at all.
No, that was a great choice of words.
All right. Do you have a list of speculations, or are we just gonna go each one at a time discussing it?
I have a couple of things written down that are like kind of likely, I guess. So the first thing on this list is something that I am honestly not super hype about and don't see how it's gonna fit in our event super well, and it's Stranger Things.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I want to say this. We talk all the time about how we'll never have like Addams Family or Beetlejuice and stuff like that because it's so like it's a universally loved thing and not like kids kind of like it, you know? Like my sister is 13 and she fucking loves Stranger Things. Like it's her favorite show. But she's not going to go to a haunted house and be able to deal with it. Do you know what I mean?
No. Which is why we won't
Stranger Things.
It's why we won't get a Five Nights at Freddy's.
Of course, because it's all like children.
Ugh.
Also, it's
actually, can you just imagine having to scare for hours at a time in a freaking fursuit?
God,
that would literally be the entire house.
That's my
exactly
dream.
what Pig Bear Man did in Purge.
I mean, I just remembered that, but also imagine an entire house of furries.
But everyone,
because that would be a Five Nights at Freddy's house.
Well, they had the Silent Hill one. The
second. I'm probably the only person here who likes Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, that's right. Connie, you and I both like it. Actually genuinely well, first off, if any of y'all have seen footage of the house from Fright Dome in Las Vegas, it looks fucking amazing.
I haven't seen that actually.
Oh my god! So they have the licensed Five Nights at Freddy's Haunted House, which is already taken. So that's why I don't think we're ever gonna get the game.
Oh,
the
I didn't even know that.
It's like a perfect recreation of the pizzeria.
It looks like a 3D model.
Yeah. Down to the smallest detail. It's incredible.
It is a Horror Nights quality house in terms of the detail of the sets alone. I can't really vouch for the scares. There's not a lot of videos of the house in action, mostly just of the set pieces and the still costumes, but still amazing.
Okay.
So I actually think it would make an amazing haunted house because I've seen that it makes an amazing haunted house.
Oh wow, look at that. There's a walkthrough.
It's a walkthrough with no actors of the sets. But anyways, I think it's very likely we'll get the movie when that inevitably happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Blumhouse has the movie in production, so that means it's pretty likely that we'll get it, considering we're on good terms with them.
Exactly. We are clearly sucking Mr. Blum's dick. So.
We really are. We really are. What's the haunt attraction that does that again?
Fright Dome.
Fright Dome.
Okay, good. I will write that down. I'm one of those people who in a fan base gets cringy or obnoxious, I guess. I don't love the term cringe. I kind of ready disown it. Oh, someone just put it in here. Who did that?
I did.
Oh, thank you, Shelby.
You're welcome.
I agree that Five Nights has the potential to be a good house.
I agree as well, though.
Not a fan of the fan base or the game itself.
Oh, yeah.
I think the games are charming, and I think they've gotten way bogged down in their lore, but up to a point. The lore was extremely interesting, and there was a lot to know. I would say from like the fourth game onwards, it's gone way overboard.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Though I do think Sinister Location is the strongest game in the series, low-key.
The initial couple of games set up something genuinely interesting, and if nothing else, if you just look at it, I mean, it is a game built on hallways, interesting-looking spaces, and jump scares from costumes. It's literally what you need for a haunted house. It's
And in that sense, I actually just played a game that I was like, oh, this would be the best Horror Nights house. If any of you are familiar with Layers of Fear.
Yes. 10 out of 10 haunted house Horror Nights.
It's all hallways. Like, it's all it is. It's hallways and big rooms. And then you go back into a hallway. But it's also good. I really liked it because I'm a big fan. I'm a big art person, even though Shelby's here. I'm like,
you're allowed to be a big art person.
Yeah, I know that
one trope per podcast.
One trope, and I don't even know what my trope would be. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like the main. I don't know.
We have theater kid. We have dancer. We have Melody.
Is Melody our stoner cliche?
Can't even get her sentence out. She's just laughing at me.
Okay, well, anyways, Layers of Fear would be literally perfect for Horror Nights.
It would be. It's just way too obscure. It'll never.
Of course.
It'll never have. But back to Five Nights at Freddy's, and what spawned Five Nights?
Well, first came Four Nights.
Oh, well, we were talking about Stranger Things and how I think it's not a great property because it'll attract people who can't do the fucking haunted house.
And children.
Yeah, which is also why when people mention Supernatural.
Oh, that's not even that scary.
I would die if the Super Hulaks came to Horror Nights.
I wouldn't go anymore.
Same. I would like to interject that I have personally witnessed exactly what young fans of a TV show that's not that scary do in a haunted house that they're not prepared for.
What, American Horror Story? No way. American Horror Story is not scary? What?
American Horror Story is not scary at all, the show. I mean, it has
moments,
a few little jump scares.
Yeah.
I didn't horror in the title.
It's very okay. My theories on American Horror Story are long and deep.
Of course.
So we're not going to get into that. The biggest thing I can say is that it is a conglomeration of classic American horror tropes into one story that doesn't necessarily have to be scary. But that's totally besides the point. In the house, yes, you would get a lot of people who were clearly just there to see American Horror Story stuff, who were not emotionally or mentally prepared for haunted houses.
Gotcha.
That's what they did with the first one. The first one wasn't as scary as this season.
Every single person who was ever escorted out of either AHS house that I know of, so they could if they were escorted out before my spot, I wouldn't know. If they were escorted out on the other cast, I wouldn't know. But every single one I ever saw was a young girl in a group of other young girls. Like there was a reason they were there, and it was a very
wait, I'm gonna stop you. Were they all wearing plaid?
I think at one point maybe.
Were they all carrying pumpkin spice lattes?
No, you can't have drinks in the house.
We're gonna make this a meme.
Actually, often they'd be wearing like people scare me shirts or just various AHS cringy material shirts. And yeah, so you would get a lot, and I feel like if you but even AHS skews a little bit more towards that teenage crowd.
Yeah.
To Freddy's and Stranger Things. I mean, children, little kids really like those.
Like freaking Target markets Five Nights at Freddy's to really small children.
Yeah, true.
Like,
true.
No, don't let your 6-year-old play Five Nights at Freddy's.
Like,
I agree.
The first 2 Five Nights at Freddy's games came out when my little sister was in elementary school, and they were playing them like at school.
Yeah, you can get them on your phone.
Oh, me too.
Well, we actually, the school system I was in gave every student laptops. So they would someone would pass the flash drive with Five Nights at Freddy's. And like, I mean, high school through elementary, everyone was playing it in class. You would know when they got scared.
Yeah.
Same thing with Slenderman.
I had Line Rider in high school. I didn't have Five Nights.
I remember I beat Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Night 5 in a Red Robin, and I literally screamed.
Amazing. But anyway, let's actually talk about Stranger Things. We're crushing it, guys. So Stranger Things, I agree it has some scary moments. It's got great creatures. It has the potential to be a good scary house. I just don't want it.
No.
I just don't care.
Too much of a lighthearted show.
Absolutely.
A scary haunted house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
plus, at least American Horror Story is like horrifically dark and upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is a lot of psychological, and that doesn't necessarily translate well.
Well, and my other thing is, it's a lot. I mean, obviously, not all of it is like child actors, but so much of it is children.
That's a lot of kids.
It's a lot of kids to be able to pull off in a house, and like
that's not
a lot of very short people.
Yeah.
I mean, Trick or Treat was a lot of kids, and so was Exorcist was a lot of kids, and like
recast all the Grady twins as 11s. There you go.
Exactly, and recast all the Reagans as 11s. Honestly, they're all 5'2" or under. Perfect.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
But I still like, how many kids are in Stranger Things with season 2? You have, I don't even know. It's still a lot.
I think it would also pass into like the sensitive subject of having kids presented in a maze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're not like creepy kids; they're normal kids. Except for the Byers kid.
Oh no!
And I don't want to see him. All sad. I don't want to see him sad.
Which is why also
like normal kids.
Which is why it will probably not work as a house either.
Yeah. I mean, you can get away with a lot of Pennywise.
I have a soft disagree with that.
Yeah, I do too. I think it because you have a lot of instances, number one, of the kids being heroic, and number two, I think more than anything, you would just be the kids in that scenario.
Yeah.
I would love it if
scares are Pennywise. It'd be perfect.
I could see like one like possessed Georgie mannequin.
Yeah.
True.
And that would be it. Otherwise, it could all be the
Pennywises at an ecstatic Georgie.
We can't make jokes about that.
Yeah. From what I'm aware, though,
would be really cool. And you get to see a dancing Pennywise.
Yes.
Can you imagine the poor actor that has to do that for 45 straight minutes?
I volunteer right now.
They'd be so skinny by the end of the run.
From what I'm aware, though, like
doing the Pennywise dance for 45 minutes.
I can and will. And I'll throw in a comment now and then.
For Pennywise 2K18.
But I'm pretty sure like WB has a stronghold on it. I
agree. I think in terms of house potential, it's very high. In terms of licensing potential, it's very low.
Yeah.
And not to mention, they kind of didn't strike while the iron was hot.
No, that would have been last year.
But at the same time, Chapter 2 comes out next year.
Also,
I was about to say,
The Shining came out in 1980, and that house did all right.
But the thing is, The Shining has already established itself as a property that people have cared about for years.
I'm just being an asshole. I'm just being an asshole. That was not serious.
Okay. But the new It, especially with like the younger crowd, I mean, you're going to have Stephen King diehards show up for it. Absolutely. And that's fine, but it has established itself with a lot of kids who like, people like, I say kids, people who like are my age or a little bit younger, who like didn't have the miniseries in their lives growing up, and it's become popular with them, but is it going to stay that way?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm not saying I think it's a great movie. I thought it did well, but like, it's just a popularity thing. Who knows?
I only saw it a few weeks ago for the first time. I totally missed the big hype when it happened.
It came out during Horror Nights, right?
I'd sort of been actively avoiding it. Yeah, I don't do anything during Horror Nights except Horror Nights.
It's a time-consuming job.
Yeah, I do that and then come home and I sleep for 2 straight days and then I go back to doing that. Mm-hmm. So I only saw it a few weeks ago and I'd been actively avoiding it. I thought it seemed kind of dumb. I was sick of the memes. It seemed really overhyped. So I went in with a bad attitude. I left being really, really genuinely impressed. I loved it. I thought it was fan-fucking-tastic and deserves most of the praise it's been getting. So
I had the same reaction, yeah.
I was like, thing. I was avoiding it and I'm so pleased that it was as good as it was.
I legitimately had fun. Like that's something I'm good with in movies.
Yep.
I watched a shitty bootleg of it, and I need to see the Blu-ray.
It's worth it for sure.
Oh yeah.
I imagine that's better.
Since we can't seem to get on Stranger Things, we can all agree that we're all kind of iffy on it, right?
Yeah.
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 Thank you. Because people are freaking out.
I can't even add anything to Stranger Things because I've only seen the first 2 episodes.
Same, and I was not impressed.
So it's not that it's bad, it's just that I don't want it.
I have a thing where something becomes so overhyped, I just immediately lose interest in it.
That's one way to put it for sure, yeah.
That's how, like, Five Nights at Freddy's, that's how Stranger Things came out, and I'm just like, oh, look, it's in the mainstream. I pull my hipster card, and I back away.
Yeah. I agree, and Season 2 is definitely way better than Season 1, which is so troubling because you have to get through Season 1 to understand anything that's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, not super hot on that one coming in. Let's talk about the new Halloween movie coming out. That seems like almost a share.
Oh, I forgot that was happening.
Stop!
But like the Halloween houses have been so good though.
I know,
and I'm
okay.
like,
at this point, Halloween is becoming the Spider-Man of the horror world. We don't need the adaptation.
I have a mixed.
Now I'm just imagining Michael Myers swinging around the city.
Yeah, but like, me too. How many Friday the 13th movies there are?
In the high heels.
There are, but they're not all remakes. I don't mean like I don't mean number of sequels. I mean the number of times we're retelling the origin story. We're coming up on the 3rd now.
Yeah,
that's how many Spider-Man origin stories we have.
Well, and to be fair, if we're also talking about Horror Nights houses, there have been a lot of Michael Myers at Horror Nights.
There's only been 2.
2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really?
The 2014 was the first time they did Halloween.
Okay. I'm a liar. I'm real sorry, guys.
Yeah, the one they've done a ton is Freddy and Jason.
Yeah. And to a lesser, I mean, they've done Texas before and bits of Texas.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I got confused. I thought Michael Myers is part of Carnival of Carnage. And he's not.
Oh, no.
That was I apologize. Yeah, that was Leather. That was those other.
Trust me, I will never forget that. I will never forget the promos for Horror Nights 17 after I went to a Horror Nights Hollywood panel and John Murdy used
them all.
promo from it.
Yeah. Have we come to that time of the night where we just
God,
indeed we have.
This please remind me later to send you all a video that my wonderful significant other found for me on Reddit. It's called HHN Hollywood 2017 John Murdy's Black Walls compilation.
Please, God bless.
Oh my God.
Obsessed. Murdy apparently has like 5 mazes in treatment or something right now.
Yeah,
he should stop. He should stop right now.
Didn't people say he was going to retire last year?
John.
Yeah.
That's like every year. I feel like we're all just hoping for it and we keep saying it's going to happen and it's just never going to happen.
Well, he doesn't live in California.
He doesn't?
I know. He lives in Ireland.
Yeah.
I never would have thought that.
Oh my God.
You don't see his 20 million tweets every time he travels back and forth?
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just me because I turned on tweet notifications for him at one point and never turned them off.
Oh my gosh, Darcy, why?
Are you insane?
I want the information, damn it.
That's true. Yeah, like everyone, and it's so, if there's one fan base I'm more mystified about than Mike Aiello's as a person, It's John Murdy's.
It's John Murdy.
Well, because at least Mike Aiello has talent.
And a personality.
For real.
Trust me, John Murdy has a personality. It's not a good one.
John Murdy, if you ever listen to our podcast, I would still happily intern for you, but like, stop.
Well, and because people get into like
just chill a little bit.
There's like this circle jerk of internet like crybabies who are like, it's John's last year. And they just like
he's a Miyazaki. He's gonna be like, it's my last year. Well, wait,
it's the Brett Favre of haunts. He just keeps retiring and coming back.
It's true.
Speaking of which, 28 icon, my neighbor Totoro.
Spooky, my neighbor Totoro.
Oh my god!
Imagine how many like 13-year-old fangirls would get then.
Oh yeah,
I volunteered to play Totoro just in my Totoro onesie covered in blood.
I was about to say, your Totoro is in your thing. That's so funny we did that.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Wow, what a world we live in.
True. Okay, so kind of mixed feelings about Halloween remakes, yeah?
Don't want it. If we're gonna do more Halloween, give me Season of the Witch, god damn it.
Yes, please.
No, I agree.
I want to go into that house hearing that damn Silver Shamrock theme.
And I want more of the greatest trigger and the loudest trigger of all time. Trick or treat! It's so loud.
Yes.
So loud. Had anybody else noticed that? 24
yes.
and 26. It was so loud. Why was it?
It was louder than the freaking jingle whatever that would play right after it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and okay, so this is like me as like a music person. I'm obsessed when we get a house with like a really iconic score and you get to live in the moment with that score.
Mm-hmm.
So like a John Carpenter, like they used a lot of this like kind of the stings from Halloween for like a lot of the triggers, but I was into it because I love that.
Yeah,
so that's what we were supposed to get for Hive was a John Carpenter inspired soundtrack, and then didn't hear anything for the whole house.
Just the cue.
And
the cue had all the music, which granted the cue music was orgasmic.
Well, yeah, but the minute you got in that house, it was like
Future Costello. I could have sex to that song.
So not only did we not get Africa by Toto, or did we not get Rickrolled in the house, we also didn't get a John Carpenter score.
That was the best experience I ever had in that house, was I put in earbuds and I listened to Toto's Africa the whole way through, and it was magical.
I mean, we heard some sort of song at the very end of the house, like when you're going through the hallway.
What was the song at the end, you know?
I had no idea.
I don't know.
Some sort of synthetic beat. I don't know.
An 80s song. Yeah, I have like mixed hopes for this Halloween because, you know, the original, like Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back, where I was like, oh, maybe it's like okay then. But
really,
like,
my only hope for it is that it's going to be the Halloween 3 that would have been about Michael Myers. It's going to come right after the second movie.
I mean,
I just had the most amazing idea, though.
Go for it.
Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be in the new Halloween movie, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
What if it goes on Freaky Friday and she switches back to Mike Myers?
And
I would watch it.
In Jamie Lee Curtis's body.
Yes,
she swaps bodies with him. Amazing.
We all know the real question is, will there be Activia? I'm sorry, she's more than Activia.
Regularity.
Jamie Lee Curtis is an icon, and I shouldn't reduce her to a yogurt commercial, but it's pretty funny.
Listen here, she reduced herself to that yogurt commercial.
That's true.
Fat yogurt.
She's just stupid Judy.
Stupid Judy.
Indeed.
Okay.
You know, speaking of houses with really good soundtracks, the first American Horror Story house.
That's true.
Had such good music. I thought about that a lot going through this year's house. There was no spots where I just like felt compelled to sing or dance, and like literally all of Hotel was just amazing song. I mean, all of the rest of it had really good iconic songs too, but like Hotel was just like Speaking of which, fun fact, that song played in its entirety section of that house. It just played on a loop. So did Tear You Apart. It was literally the entire song beginning to end with sound.
Didn't Hotline Bling play at the end?
Didn't what play?
Hotline Bling?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Iris and Liz Taylor's room, but only the chorus, and then it was just gunshots.
Wow.
Interesting.
I mean, why couldn't they have just done that That's that song where it's like gunshot, gunshot, cash register noise.
I like paper, get high, like plays.
That one.
I see we're all blessing you with our musical talent today.
I mean, we've already said we're going to put up Lizzie, so.
Indeed.
Yes,
okay. So yeah, Halloween. Mixed feelings from me. They do a good job with it, but who knows?
I have an idea. Speculation.
Yeah.
The Strangers, the sequel.
Yes. It looks so good.
You hit.
I would be so down for it.
I don't care for the first one, but the second one actually seems more appealing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I repainted one of the masks, so I have like a close. Yeah. That would be so.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Okay, yeah, I would totally be down. And there is another one coming out, which segues me really nicely to our next one. There is another. This is something we speculated about last year. I don't know if it was ever actually in the works. There is a new Hellraiser movie coming out this year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was on my list.
Oh good.
That Hellraiser is one of my favorite movies ever.
Oh,
it's not to my taste, but I know the visuals would be great.
Yeah,
there's chains everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Shelby, it's funny that you also really love that movie because I discovered that movie and Reanimator around the same time, and I love both of movies, and they both remind me of you.
Well, because they're like my taste, like exactly.
Yeah, I know you and I both really love Reanimator. Yeah.
I discovered both of those like late high school with my ex-boyfriend, and they were both like really monumental. I fucking loved them, and I immediately became like obsessed. So yeah. I feel you.
They're fantastic. Did you know Jeffrey Combs is Darkenon?
Wait, are you fucking kidding me?
No, I found that out like 3 months ago, and I freaked out.
I wish you could see my face right now. I can't.
I found that out through a friend of mine. I'm like, no way, he is not. So I had to go see it.
Amazing.
Like almost every time I see that show, I make a joke that it's like a different famous actor. So I went with
Meryl Streep, obviously.
Look, Jeff Goldblum is playing Darkenon. And so now oh my god, now I know.
Yeah. You can thank my friend Matt for telling me that because Jesus.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
But Hellraiser, no idea what the new movie will entail, but it's long overdue for a house.
It looks very tortury, and I'm okay with that. It looks like it is in the hell realm, and I'm okay with it.
The helm?
Hell realm.
The hell.
Yeah. You guys should look up the Tortured Souls figures, because Clive Barker came out with a whole line of like Cinnabite-esque
Cinnabon
action figures, and they're all like bloody and disgusting.
God, that was
torn apart.
That was peak of my first year at Horror Nights. I knew what it was supposed to be in Cabin in the Woods, but I could never remember how to pronounce it, so I just called the Cenobite guy the Cinnabon Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be super excited to see what that could bring to the event. It'd be a cool aesthetic to have around.
Let me see what owns Hellraiser. Like what studio?
That would be great.
Yeah.
I also just want to say, this is like not at all an option, I'm pretty sure.
Dimension Films.
Who?
Dimension, the people who made the Spy Kids movies?
Yes.
Oh,
I know exactly
my God.
what you're talking about.
Confirmed. Spy Kids house.
The parent company is Walt Disney Studios.
Steve Buscemi.
Maybe not the Dinkster.
Honestly, Spy Kids was horrifying to me as a child. So
I love those movies.
I mean, I loved them, but they were scary.
But just a trigger of, do you think God stays in
Wait, no, we tied it back to Steve.
I say Spy Kids
lives in fear of what he's created.
I say Spy Kids, but they made 99% of their movies were horror movies, and then Spy Kids.
Spy Kids is their outlier. It's just Spy Kids is the thing we're the most connected with because it came out when most of us were pretty young.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
But the parent company of Dimension Films is Walt Disney, so we're probably not getting it.
Oh no. Yeah, for some reason that was like everybody's. That was a speculation that stayed around for a really long time last year was Hellraiser.
Yeah. Which makes me sad.
It does make me sad. This is like something that's totally off the radar, but I know fanboys and us fangirls have been requesting it for years. I would literally like sell my entire body Bioshock.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have.
Oh my god. Yes.
Have you seen my friend upload the like Bioshock inspired ride?
The attraction posters?
Yeah.
I lost my mind. Like I would literally just like I would cry. Like
you should check him out.
Because I replayed through all of them. I only got into them like last year. I've only recently gotten back into video games recently.
Oh. Wait, you played it for the first time last year?
Yes. I'm very behind. And
wow.
I was a girl who had an older brother who only played like the douchebaggiest of games. And my friends didn't have video game systems. I was not at all. And the most recent gaming console I have is a PS2. Like I'm playing all these on PC. Like my parents were like, "You get too obsessed with video games," so I was in that neighborhood, okay? And so I played them all last year and just they blew my mind. I love them like great. And I don't think I'll be able to I want to be alive when Rapture comes to Halloween Horror Nights. Like I won't be able to die peacefully.
I think we just need a video game inspired theme park, to be honest.
I mean it's true. It's true.
Make it happen.
For real. So I know a lot of people
comes in a loot box.
I was thinking like a lot of people talk about like, you know, we want to see like the splicers and all the Rapture stuff. There's a couple of things from Infinite I would throw in. Obviously it's not as horror inspired like at all. But and I think eventually they are going to make another game. Like I really do. Like everyone behind BioShock keeps saying we're not done with it yet. And I'm like, how? But you know,
it's been so long since Infinity came out. Like,
when are we getting it? 2013, I think. Right? Let me look that
Infinity.
Up. Infinite was 2013. Yeah.
Infinite. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. I would love to see the asylum scene from Infinite as like the opening scene with the Boys of Silence. The like weird little like alarm dudes who are like screech at you and like the midget George Washington. Ben Franklin's.
I mean, you could theoretically do all 3 games or just 2 because the second one isn't good.
Well, because like everyone's always like, we can't do Infinite because it's not that scary. I'm like, there are moments that you could use.
Yeah, exactly.
But I would love to see them do something with Songbird. Like a puppet of some sort. That would be amazing.
Oh, Melodies. Oh wait.
Oh, Melodies. Okay, good.
Excuse me.
I was like, we haven't heard you in a while.
Yeah. Well, I have no
anyway
on video games as I don't.
But really your mic symbol was up. That said you were muted, so I was like,
her microphone into the microwave.
I muted for a second so I could go rinse off my hands because Pearl had been licking them since I got.
Oh,
that's fair.
Oh my god, that just reminded me. My cat was itching her face earlier and blepping the whole time.
I think a lot of it would be cool, but I would not understand it, and I would not have the dedication to play through a video game.
Girl, me too.
That's why you just come over to my place. We have some drinks, and you watch me play video games.
That I could deal with. I used to watch Connie play a game at one point when we lived together.
What did I do? Me?
What was that, Connie?
What are you talking about? Are you sure it was me? Because I don't play games.
It was that horror game where it was like choose your own adventure and it had a lot of snow.
What?
Oh, Until Dawn.
Yes.
What is it?
Yeah, Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy, the guy who played the king, the Egyptian king in the Museum Nighttime movie?
Mr.
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek.
Yeah, him.
Beautiful boy.
It's really good. You get to see clowns, and sometimes they make you do things that are really bad.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
First 4 hours though.
If there was a video game house that I would want, though, it would have to be SCP, which is
Barbie Horse Rider, which is mine.
Ow.
Yes, Barbie Horse Rider.
Yeah,
please.
Too.
Okay, but can it be accompanied with a scare zone for Barbie
Nintendo?
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
I would actually live for like a not demented, that's the wrong word. Like a Barbie house that's like creepy.
What if it was like a spinoff of Dollhouse of the Damned?
Yeah.
Ooh,
not like
Barbie.
but I'm talking like modern toys. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like Dollhouse was great and I loved it. Like, I loved like all the old school toys. I want like new ones that are creepy.
Yeah.
Hatchimals. Hatchimals scare.
It's just like I would love it if we got a trip into like a horribly, horribly wrong like Barbie dream house.
Yes.
Just like a haunted Toys R Us.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yes.
Like imagine everything is still like hot pink and plastic, but it's just terrifying.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Brats.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't allowed to play with them.
Really?
They were too sexy.
I was kind of the same. I mean, I wasn't banned from it, but they would rather buy me Barbies. The only Brats I ever had were given to me as gifts.
Yeah, same. My parents would not buy them.
I wish we had Monster High dolls when I was.
Yes,
I would have
lived. I'm so salty. I didn't have those as a kid.
Become Sam, Melody. Own
I was
them all
about to
as
say,
a grown-ass man.
Become our friend Sam, who has a room where the entire wall is floor-to-ceiling shelves, 3 dolls deep of Monster High dolls.
Jesus Christ.
He has literally every variant of everyone ever made, and he can name them all, and I respect him so much.
That's a lot of money.
It really is.
He has a job and a husband. You do what you do.
Yeah, he's got a well-to-do hubby. I will always think about them when I think about Horror Nights, because I went to their wedding so hungover from a Horror Nights party, it was disgusting.
Aww.
I projectile vomited in the car on the way there.
Oh my gosh.
Right before we were supposed to leave the party to go to the wedding, which was on a cruise ship, I fell asleep on the toilet and had to be collected by my ex.
We had to pick the lock to get her out.
Are we talking the rap party?
No, this wasn't even the rap party. This was just a party during the middle of the run.
Oh god.
There was no purpose to it. We just wanted to get drunk, and it went way too far. It was
okay.
Good, though. Like this was like running around with chainsaws. People there was a lot of pizza. There was really expensive alcohol.
I was in Anastasia for a minute.
You? Oh, that's right. We have that video of Connie.
Anastasia.
Yeah, she did that. There's pictures of me in a Twisty mask and my ex-boyfriend in a Michael Myers mask kissing, like just with the masks. We're just touching faces with the masks.
Amazing.
Yeah. There's Polaroids. There's a lot of Polaroids of titties.
Oh boy.
It was crazy. But then we left and went to this guy's wedding, and he's got all the Monster High dolls, and he would be first in line for the Monster High house and Horror Nights.
Oh, hell yeah.
Another thing we can't have because of children. So I want to do 2 more things on our speculation thing. And they're both kind of just things we've already had. So obviously
I would also like to throw in an idea at some point.
Yes.
Throw it in.
Okay, so I know the movie hasn't come out yet, but I would absolutely have sex, birth a child, and then kill that child for this house. And that would be the Winchester house.
Yes!
Yes! Please.
The what house?
The Winchester Mystery House. That place is so
stairs
cool.
That go up to nothing, doors that open.
It is genuinely one of the coolest places I have ever been. It is insane.
For sure.
And there's one coming out soon.
Okay. Damn, that sounds nice.
I want it.
I'll look more into that. It's called the Winchester House?
Yes.
Connor, the movie's called Winchester.
The house is IRL. It's like a real thing that actually exists.
Yeah.
I've been there like twice. It is so
Where
cool.
Is it?
It's somewhere in California, like SoCal area.
Okay. I might actually be back out there in the next couple of years, so who knows?
Yeah, look into it.
I was actually born in Southern California. I lived there for like 3 months after I was born, but that's like where I'm technically from.
Nice.
So yeah, interesting stuff there. Okay, so 2 things before we go. Obviously, we've burned through 6 seasons of American Horror Story to great effect. Will we see Cult? Will we see a repeat? How will we see it? What's going on?
At this point, all I know is that we're probably getting it back in some form.
Yeah.
Because money.
It's too popular for it to be dropped, I think.
So
I would say so.
Hypothetical.
Oh yeah, I have a theory. So, I think we're getting Horror Story again. And I think it could go one of two ways. I think it's either going to be another compilation house with 2 repeat seasons and then Cult. And I think those repeat seasons are going to be Asylum, Freak Show, and Cult.
Those would be good together.
If anything. That is a possibility. And I mean, like, this is pure speculation, but this is something I could see happening if they want to do another house. I can see that with a great twisty transition between Freak Show and Cult makes sense. Or this is, I almost feel like more likely, kind of proved that apparently horror stories allowed in the streets, because we had the Butcher and Bloody Face and what's that other guy?
Papa Legba. Daddy Long Legs.
Yeah. Daddy Long Legba. So had all of them, and even though they weren't really supposed to talk, they would talk a little bit, and it was all okay, and everyone was okay with it. The only thing that I really feel like is that visually stunning in Cult, other than all the promos, which were great. Clowns. The clowns, of course. Their design is great. I could see a scare zone of those, is what I'm getting at. The entry, what's that? Avenue of the Stars, a little entry scare zone as a Cult scare zone. With all of them, and if they really wanted to do something amazing, they could have a paid actor A as Kai up on a stage, like rallying everybody.
I literally was gonna say they should do the clowns from Cult as a scare zone. I actually,
that would be really cool.
I saw it because it's in a very suburban neighborhood. The whole Cult series. So I would do it in Central Park and have like the houses, like the doors and stuff.
Oh yeah, I could see.
Kind of like Trick or Treat, but I like Avenue of the Stars too.
I think Avenue would be good because it's just sort of a. This is a scare zone that would be built entirely off the costumes. I don't know what sets you could have. I like your little house idea. That's really actually good.
Yeah.
The reason I didn't think of putting it anywhere.
But also, are we really going to waste Central Park on a not visually stunning zone?
Right. Like I said, just throwing it out there. I think there's also like a van that the clowns use. You could have like the van as well. Is that in there? Am I hallucinating that?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Okay, there was a van at one point that the clowns.
Oh my god! Now I can think of is 23 when they had that weird truck of walkers that would just drive around, and every so often they'd let them out for 15 minutes to scare, and then they'd move on to somewhere else and do the same thing over again.
That's weird.
That's so weird.
I affectionately called it Priscilla, Queen of the Walkers.
Oh my god!
Every time I see that truck anywhere else, because it's the same freaking truck. That's all I call it. Yeah. Even if it's in The Purge, it's Priscilla, Queen of the Walkers.
Because Cult had the clowns, and they were really well designed, like interesting clowns. I'll give them that. But I would say in terms of scares, a lot of it was like very like normal looking, if you know what I mean. Like it wasn't. It was, political stuff and all that, which, I mean, I didn't even finish the season.
I actually ended up liking this season considerably more than I expected to, but it's still pretty much clear at the bottom of it. There's no season of Horror Story that I hate. If it has that fucking theme song attached to it, but put that theme song before, I don't know, a video of someone running over a squirrel, and I would be like, oh, but it's an episode of American Horror Story. I gotta like it a little bit. And so I liked it more than I thought I would, but still, I didn't think it was that great. And I think the best part is the look of the clowns for a house or for any kind of scary thing. And it definitely could not be its own house. I've seen a lot of people predict a solo house. I think Roanoke had enough material for a solo house. I think Asylum and Freak Show have enough material for a solo house.
Absolutely.
Maybe Murder House has enough for a solo house. I don't think Hotel does. Hotel might, but I don't think anyone wants that. I do. That's my favorite season, but I'm just talking most what fans think. But I think Freak Show, Asylum, and Roanoke are really the only ones that can be full houses on their own. They're the only ones that should be.
I would agree. All right, so definitely an uncertain future for American Horror Story, but I know we will see it again.
I certainly hope so. I don't know what we'd be without it, but also I don't know what I would be without it. If it's Cult, I don't get to be part of that.
You could be a victim.
Cult, so I can't help.
I don't want to be a victim.
So our last sort of speculation piece that I wanted to bring up. Recently, we have such a limited sort of slots for the original houses. What are some IPs that you think are due for reappearances? Like creative originals.
Oh, originals?
Yeah, like original.
Well, we just had an
Blood and Guts
without Shady Brook, so we better get that shit back so no one forgets.
I don't see. Okay, this is just
true. Yeah,
I don't see Shady Brook coming back until 30.
That's I was just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was like, wait, are you for real?
That was a joke that they way overdue Shady Brook. At least they haven't as of late.
They totally do. I agree.
Bring back creatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love a creature based for sure.
Yes.
I mean, that's my alley.
Tentacles and hillbillies. That's what we
Please.
And hillbillies. God bless America.
Yeah, just an actor. Okay, for some reason I interpreted that wrong, and I just imagined a single actor dressed as one tentacle.
Just one tentacle. It's like me when I dance to New Rules, that song. I get noodle arms during the chorus.
But like specifically in a really bad fursuit, like think the BFF costumes from SpongeBob, but it's shameless plug. I'm really into the SpongeBob musical.
Oh my gosh. It's actually not half bad. I was really surprised. Geez, I don't even know. Like, because they've picked ones that have been from like a good decade back. You know, they've done Ghost Town, which was from 2004.
Oh, you know something I see a lot of people asking for, and that I would also really like Castle Vampire.
Castle Vampire, of course. I love good scary vampires. But I also
love that.
I think we've had vampires too many years in a row, though.
Yeah, true.
Yes, actually, that I totally agree with. But if we had to have vampires one more time, I'd really like Castle Vampire.
For sure. My thing is we had
What We Do in the Shadows, though.
I want it so bad. What We Do in the Shadows could be.
I want a room.
No,
wait. A room that's just.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I want a room that's just shit. I can't remember his name. Not Taika Waititi, not Vladislav, whatever the other one is. I'm forgetting his name.
Oh, me too.
The
Vladislav Viago.
But the erotic dance scene. Deacon. I want the Deacon erotic dance scene.
Yeah. If we want to tie this back around, What We Do in the Shadows could be a great roast show.
Oh, true.
Yes.
True. That would be fun.
Yes. So what I want to
be put in the vampire shame circle.
Yes, they can shame somebody every night. That would be so brilliant. What I was going to say is, so we've had just really attractive people as vampires in the 50s. We've had ugly vampires. I want scary, sexy vampires back.
Yeah.
Skexy?
What? You mean Dracula?
Yes,
oh my God.
Yes. Skeksis. Give me a Dark Crystal house.
I would be down.
I wanted to be a Skexy when I was like 7 years old. I didn't want to be anyone else from the Dark Crystal. I wanted to be a Skexy.
Well, the Gelflings are living fucking nightmares, so I definitely don't want to do that.
Ooh, we have a request on the YouTube live chat.
Ooh.
Scene asks for nightingales.
Yes.
Oh, that's my number one wish list.
Hi, Johnny.
Fantastic suggestion.
I agree.
Is one of those things I'm really sad I missed.
Same.
I love what tiny flavor I got in 25 years. In fact, I kind of an interesting point to bring up, something that interests me about nightingales. I always heard it was really intense. It was a very like intense, scary house. Of 25 years was the only part of the whole house that genuinely like basically made me uncomfortable. It felt really like, oh, there's a lot going on and it's scary. The rest of it was like, hey, that's great. Hey, I know what that is. Hey, these actors are fun. These costumes are cool. Oh my God, it's a tank and it's a thing and it's eating a thing. Oh my God.
There's this scene. There's this scene from Nightingales that people still talk about where one of them was like eating a horse.
Yeah.
What?
And I was like, bring it, you know?
Amazing.
Did HR Blood and Guts have like a turkey and a vagina?
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about.
Beautiful.
21 was the sexiest.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I know. I mean, I think this is probably, we've all said this before, but Blood and Guts? More Blood and Guts, please?
Reality Terror Vision, bitches.
Please.
Guts. And I know Bay, he wants to do it again.
Yeah.
Bless.
He said he would love to play Blood and Guts again. He just doesn't think anybody else wants to see it. And I was like, are you kidding?
What? There's like a whole fan base just for Blood and Guts. It's like, you know, it's 12-year-olds, but still.
I was like, you're one of the most popular original characters that's not like in the commercials ever.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's like literally one of the number
He's popular
ones.
enough that most people consider him an icon.
Exactly.
For real.
So I have no
More people consider Blood and Guts an icon than they consider Bone an icon.
Oh hell yeah.
10,000%. Sorry, Bone, we love you.
Is he? I mean,
I just meant in a nice way. I just meant in a like a pat way.
Oh,
true.
That's how I felt about that whole scare zone.
Pat.
Indeed.
Okay.
I'm like, I went into that scare zone to see Enya, and that was about it. Usually,
Enya, Jonathan, JJ.
Yeah, I'd go in there to say hi to Enya, and then I'd leave.
But Jesse and Allie and Rocky.
Well, yeah.
Them all, especially just all three of them. Like, just shout out. I know you guys don't listen to this, but I'm gonna talk about them anyways because they're wonderful. I love all three of them. Rocky, you deserve Scare of the Year.
Nah, man, we are always here to lift up scare actors. You guys do so much for so little.
Today,
so, yeah.
Everyone go to Twin Peaks and request Selena, the Twin Peaks on iDrive. Go see her titties. She wants you to see them.
I've never been to a Twin Peaks.
The food's actually really good. I went there today though, and I just had a couple whiskey sours. But great. I had so much fun. I love seeing Selena. There's a lot of here's just kind of an interesting. There's characters everywhere. I know that sounds stupid, but they spread all over to all kinds of really weird and interesting jobs.
They do.
And you never know where you're gonna find them. And it's, if you're a Horror Nights fan, like, you should never hesitate to talk about the things you like if it comes up.
Just go to Orlando, grab someone off the street, say, "Are you a character?
Are you a character?"
But also, don't be a stalker.
True.
Like, you have no idea how often I'll be at work and people will mention something Horror Nights related in the lobby or as I'm introing a game or something, and the conversation just comes up. I mean, because I work in an escape room with a horror room that works all year. It's not a Halloween specific horror thing, and so it comes up a lot. And it's like, it's great. You make so many great connections and you meet all kinds of cool people. And I don't know, Horror Nights shit.
For real, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think that about covers all of our half-hearted speculation, which actually turned pretty passionate, so I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, when I looked at just the list of IPs that people were bringing up, I was like, So I hope we get some good stuff out of it. Like, I'm always rooting for A&D. I really am.
I don't see 28 being a very IP-heavy year.
I hope not.
As far as, like, popularity and bringing in the crowds.
Yeah, true.
I don't think we have any heavy hitters really this year. I mean, I'm sure something old is going to come up that's amazing, but I'm sort of trying to think of what
I think
like a big name classic horror film from the 70s or 80s.
Dark Shadows.
Okay,
please.
Fright Night.
I could see them doing I could see them finally doing like the Hitchcock mashup, maybe.
Oh, please.
That would be good.
Fuck me
I would like it.
Recreate the bird shit room.
Yeah, let's bring back the bird shit, man.
Honestly,
hey,
yes.
I'm gonna say it again. Give me an H.P. Lovecraft themed house.
10,000%. 10,000%.
Also, Universal, please make her scare zone.
True.
I think about that every day.
Aw. Thanks. I'm actually working on one right now.
I do think about it a lot. I took screenshots of that, and anytime I'm going through my little Horror Nights folder, I'll see them and I'll be like, "Oh, I want it."
Just let us be creative for 1 year and see what happens.
Oh my god.
You know what? No, because your goddamn fish monster boyfriend would be the icon.
I would. Scented water on every billboard.
I'm gonna go on a small tangent. I think, and I hate saying this, I think the Horror Nights legends that we know now need to start making room for newer people.
Agreed.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need younger people working on the team. I think we need a younger person running the event.
Maybe 5 young people, say
5 young wink, nudge.
I mean,
no, for real.
I don't think we need like the people running the Twitter that we had last year because that was horrible.
Oh my god. The Twitter fiascos last year.
I want to see another sweepstakes happen just to see the fandom lose their shit.
Darcy, no. Don't even say that. Because as someone who like had to live with that and entered 7 times, what the hell?
So sad.
I love chaos like that. It's like New Year's Eve at Disney. I hate it, but I keep going because it's so much fun to use those free horns they give you and passive aggressively honk at people who are walking like 5 in a row with a stroller really slowly.
Darcy's the one who's like, when people are running around with their legs cut off, is just standing in the middle laughing.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with our current creative.
Yes. Back to this topic because this is this is good to talk about.
But here's the problem, and I hate saying that, these people aren't good because I respect them as creatives, but they need to make room for the actual millennials that are advertising towards millennials.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, because right now it's a bunch of 40 to 50-year-olds advertising towards millennials.
Yeah. See,
and that's really hard to do.
I can just say from physically being there, when the higher ups walk the houses, when we do executive reviews, the people that are walking past, they seem so out of place from everybody else around them. A lot of your ASMs, your coordinators, and obviously your characters, we're all pretty young. We're all a youngish spectrum. Yeah. And then, but the people, I mean, I guess, I don't know, seniority, this, that, and the other, but it's just weird is what I'm saying. There's a disconnect there, and I wish that there wasn't. Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes there are people who connect better in creative walks, but I don't know. I feel like they could stand to be a little more fresh. I like that phrasing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's very important to bring up because I think that's something that absolutely needs to be looked at a little more. Good
and
points.
I think it might. I'm not going to say starting to show, but I don't know. I feel like
I would agree. It's starting to show.
There are so many repeat gags every year, and I understand. Like, you're going to reuse property, reuse set pieces, but there are so many concepts that have just become, tropes of Horror Nights that maybe someone else would do something different. For example, like one of those, infinite Michael Myers rooms. We've seen that so many times now. Every year for as long as I've been going to Horror Nights.
Yeah, exactly.
Even longer.
That's also a trope there are other like every haunted house.
That's true, yeah.
Right. I would just like to see a little bit more innovation, I guess, because they have the budget, they have the ability, and they have the physical ability in terms of contractors to do so much.
Yeah. I would agree for sure.
To fulfill that potential. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they brush with genius, and it's amazing.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I would for
sometimes
sure.
is underlined and bolded.
Yeah, good points all around there. I agree. And definitely us running the event would be wild for multitudes of reasons. You could just tell who did what.
And very badly.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready for it. We'll be the
okay.
So maybe then my poltergeist house would finally happen.
Please.
I want Poltergeist so bad.
Right.
But like low-key, the remake would make a better house than the original. I hate to say that, but it would.
It would not. Shut your whore mouth.
God. Okay, before we get into a fight over the internet, a physical fight, a fist fight. Let's move on to our.
Darcy,
I'm gonna punch you through your skin.
So we were all chatting in our Twitter group that we all have to keep up with each other and figure out what we're doing with our lives, and we all kind of stumbled into really bad horror movies recently that we're kind of obsessed with. So we wanted to talk about some of these things that were on our minds lately. So and just for shits and giggles, we have no intention of wanting to see these houses or needing them in our lives.
That's your opinion.
Okay, you know what? I have the movie about the haunted iPhone app, okay?
I would kill to see a Terror Tunes house.
We all are going to talk about
I would be Dr. Carnage.
of our favorite terrible movies to kind of round off this very lopsided episode. Although it turned out to be better than I thought it would be. So that's good. But we're still going to play this little game of ours. So I'll go ahead and start to set some precedents going on here. So I watched recently on Netflix this movie called The Deviled. And the concept is basically Haunted Siri. But there is I know.
Amazing.
I know. I actually saw somebody that I used to respect mentioned it a couple of times on Twitter, and I was like, huh, interesting. And it was on Netflix, and I was really bored. It's 90 minutes on the dot.
Wow.
For real.
That is like a children's cartoon.
It's long enough to be considered a feature.
Long enough to be considered a feature and nothing more. So Bedeviled, there is a physical manifestation of Mr. Bedevil. He's not uber scary. He's kind of a Pennywise-esque character, but obviously not as good. And he's like, this girl like finds him in her house. It's a bit of a scary thing. She dies. And then like a couple days later, all of her friends get like requests to like join an app on their phone sent from her phone. She's dead. And they're like, oh, this is from this girl's phone. What are we gonna do?
Unfriended all over.
So they immediately download it.
They all immediately download it. I'm not even joking. You say that, it's true.
That I have no doubt.
I don't even have space on my phone for like half the photos I have. How am I gonna get a new app? I don't think so.
Right.
So, Connie, if I died and you got a text
real life
from
horror
my phone saying to download something, you wouldn't do it.
No, I love you alive.
I mean, I at least have to clear some stuff off my phone first.
Well, and not to mention this whole thing is like,
well,
Mr. Bedevil is an AI. Like, he's helping them with their homework. He's like doing like normal shit for like most of the movie. That's awesome. And his creepy little voice. Then he'll ask them like dumb questions. And a lot of the movie consists of like the lights being turned off.
Chaotic good AI.
No. He murders them later. They all get killed off one by one.
Chaotic neutral then.
Like, and a lot of these things, I'm like, where are these? It's definitely like 35-year-olds playing children.
Oh no.
And they're all like screaming in the dark in their houses. I'm like, where are your parents? How do they not hear you? Like, and it's also one of those movies that like the writers of it are 10,000% like 45 to 50 years old. Like, these are how the teens talk.
Oh no.
Real bad.
I mean,
and everyone's got like
the kind of people that would make an evil Siri movie in the first place.
Right. It's one of those, goddamn millennial movies, you know.
Sounds like a conversation we were having earlier.
Yeah, kind of so. And so they all die and stuff. There's this one line in this movie that is just incredible. And if we had it in a house, I would need this line as a trigger. It's something along the lines of like, you fucking kids, I can't tell if your lips are making a duck face or an asshole.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's something to that effect. I don't think that's the right phrasing. But in a bedeviled house, we would have lots of lights turning on and off. Mr. Bedevil would show up occasionally. He's got long fingers. He'd be a good puppet.
That's going to be the upcharge experience.
Mr. Bedeviled.
Then give you a phone and the devil helps you with your homework.
Why not just delete the app? They never talk about why they can't just delete the app.
True.
Like, they don't get into it at all.
So good.
So the house would be so dumb. I can't even begin. There's not even enough material to do anything. It's an 1.5-hour movie of mostly just him helping them with their homework.
I would like to download this Bedevil Man. I need help.
Please, come and kill me, Mr. Bedevil.
Yes, if you kill
Can I start calling him Mr. Bedazzle?
Yes. He's a very sparkly guy.
I mean, what else were they thinking when they named it? Seriously.
Well, his name isn't even Bedeviled. There's no ED on the end. It's just Mr. Bedevil. Like, it's so obvious.
Dazzle. It's just there.
Dazzle. Everything in the movie just has sequins on it.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Okay, well, so it would be terrible, but that's my bad movie that I brought to the table. Who wants to go next?
I mean, I guess I got Wish Upon, which is just probably the worst movie of 2017.
Go for it.
Basically, this girl is upset with her life, and her dad finds this wish box, like music box, in the dumpster because he's a fucking like dumpster diver.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
And it's the guy's played like by Ryan Phillippe. Like, what the hell is he doing with his life?
Right.
And she starts wishing in front of this little wish box, and her life starts to change. Like, she wishes for this one like bully to rot, and that bully rots. But there's really no consequence for her whatever she wishes for. And she'll wish for something. She'll wish for money, and then like her rich uncle will die, and then she'll inherit the money, and then there's no consequence for wishing for that money.
So it's not even like a situation.
The uncle dies, but they don't really like talk about it at all anymore. Like, oh, he's dead! Yay, money!
I don't remember the rest of these movies in a nutshell.
It was just so bad. I zoned out real fast, but it was just so boring. The acting is horrible, just god awful.
Sounds amazing.
It was. I had to rent it through Amazon. Like I had, like, oh, this movie's so bad. I guess I gotta pay for it.
Oh my god, gross.
I think I paid like $1, but still,
not worth it.
I'm glad you survived.
That's the thing with it being on Netflix. At least you get to watch like good movies afterwards with Mr. Bedeviled.
Yeah.
It's not even called Mr. Bedeviled. It's just Bedeviled. I'm sorry.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia. Apparently, it cost $12 million to make, and it only made $20 million.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. No. Still profitable.
I mean, it could be a worse budget, but you know. Because I'm gonna segue into mine now.
Go for it.
If you're done. Yeah. Mine is Joe Castro's Terror Tunes. Single-handedly the worst movie I have ever watched, with a large budget of $2,700.
Oh my god.
Okay, so basically the plot of this movie is that they get this DVD in the mail called Terror Tunes, and the 10-year-old, who, by the way, the 10-year-old is played by an adult porn star.
Oh my god. Is this a Denny situation?
Who's also a professional wrestler.
That's awesome.
Wait, no, you're joking. Who is it?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up because I might know
name. All I know is she's a porn star and a wrestler.
This is a price
the 10-year-old decides to watch this Terror Tunes movie. Their parents are out of town. The older sister is hanging out with her friend, and they invite two guys over. And the two villains in the Terror Tunes cartoon or whatever come out of the screen and start killing everyone.
Oh, I thought you were about to say have sex because you mentioned a porn star.
No. It's basically a bad porn setup, but there's no porn. It's just a really terrible horror movie.
I would like to interject very fast, just because this is a callback. Right. One of the actors in this movie is called Lizzie Borden.
What?
But with a Y instead of the IE.
Dang it.
Yeah, that's the porn star.
Because there's just Casey, and I thought that was it. But that's fine. It could be more than one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh boy. But I would like to point out that two guys and the two older girls, there's a scene where they can't decide between playing poker and playing with a Ouija board. Oh, wait, strip poker.
That decision every night, but
strip poker or Ouija board. So they decide to play strip Ouija.
Oh no! That was a joke.
No, it isn't. They would ask the Ouija board what they had to take off.
It's not even
That's amazing. This movie sounds great.
We should play this. We should play.
But again, $2,700 budget. The two villains are literally fursuits.
Awesome.
The gore is so incredibly unrealistic. It's beautiful. The writing is terrible. The set design is terrible.
Darcy, I don't know what you're doing. You're selling this movie to me. Like, I'm watching this now.
I know. I really
We do need to watch it. It's the worst movie I've ever seen, but also I love it.
Is it on YouTube by any chance?
I don't know. I originally watched it. A friend of mine torrented it, and then we watched it through Rabbit.
We need to watch it through like Rabbit or something altogether.
We do.
Hey, I googled it, and there's like 3 of them.
There are
3, and the last one came out last year.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Yeah. I've seen this cover before.
But
this looks amazing.
I was going to say something, but genuinely, I would, if only, want to see this as a house, just because it's so terrible. But I want it as a 3D house, because I mean, if you're gonna take this cheap ass movie, and make it into a house, you might as well do the cheap effects.
I'm here for it.
This was a $2,700 budget. This is great.
I was about to say, it actually looks pretty okay for literally having this smallest budget.
You haven't watched it.
Granted, I haven't.
There's a review of it somewhere on YouTube where the guy just yells about how shitty of a movie it is. Then he throws the DVD on the ground, runs it over with his car, sets it on fire, drop kicks it, and throws it into a dumpster. And that's about how good the movie is.
Wow. I love anything that can inspire that kind of fury in people.
Yeah.
Just a note, there is a movie called Evil Tunes in its entirety on YouTube. As far as I can tell, it's not the same thing.
It is not.
Next time.
But anyway, a prized entry into the canon.
Please let me be Dr. Carnage, Universal. That's all I want.
Call them
but
right
I can just imagine now a scare that's just the freaking gorilla, the fursuit gorilla with a gun.
Oh my god.
Because there's literally one of the two tunes that pops out of the thing is a purple gorilla that shoots people.
So American Werewolf in London. You know
that's
what happened, right?
Is true.
Let's try to keep this under 2 hours, so let's keep it rolling.
Oh god, sorry.
No, you're good. We're all getting off on tangents. It's fine.
Okay. I can go now unless Connie really wants to.
No, I can wait.
Oh, so my movie I'll do like a real quick double feature. I'm just gonna have one of them. What I'm gonna talk about is Troll 2. Everybody has probably heard of this. There's a pretty popular documentary that was on Netflix for a long period of time called The Best Worst Movie about Troll 2, which is where I learned a lot of my information about it from. It is an 80s horror movie produced by a lovely seeming Italian couple who definitely know how American horror movies work. Definitely people talk.
They're eating her, and then they're going to
eat me.
Oh my god!
Like that's honestly, that's a high point in the movie, but it may not even be my favorite line. My favorite line might be, it's right at the beginning. The girl, oh god, I gotta see if I can phrase it right.
You cannot piss on hospitality.
Yeah, that one's really good. You can't piss on hospitality. I haven't even gotten what the plot of this is, but when the girl said Dad is gonna crush her boyfriend's tiny nuts.
Yeah.
I love that. It's just horrible. Like, nobody speaks that way. But anyways, basic plot of the movie: you got a family, they do a house swap with another family who live in a mysterious town called Nilbog. I wonder what that means.
It's true.
Goblin backwards.
Nilbog.
Goblin backwards. And it so they switch. They go to this other town, Nilbog. Everybody there is weird. They're all fucking weird. They're sort of like okay. So in a lot of horror movies, you have like the creepy old man at the gas station who warns everyone to stay away.
Yeah.
Imagine an entire town populated with that guy. So that's where they're staying, but they're like, whatever. And all of these weird townspeople just really want them to eat this green goo. Like, everything they try to give them covered in this green goo that kind of looks delicious, but also looks disgusting.
Soylent Green.
Little boy, our Elliot like protagonist, has hallucinations of his dead grandpa about every 20 minutes, because that's also a thing.
Beautiful.
And so basically the various characters split off and they have different adventures throughout the town, all trying to get this green goo eaten. The two characters end up in the shack of a druid origins. And she gets one of them to eat the green goo, and we finally learn. Spoilers, everybody. I don't want to ruin this. The green goo turns them into plants. The people turn into goblins, and they're vegetarians. So they turn people into plants, and then they eat that. But the plants are like goo plants.
Wow.
It's So that famous, they're eating her. Then they're gonna eat me. That's a kid whose feet are in a flower pot and he's turning into a plant while he watches his friend get ate.
Nice.
It's an experience.
It's amazing. It's very much like The Room in the sense that it is a very watchable movie. The dialogue is recorded in a way that you listen to. It's filmed on real cameras. There is the presence of special effects, although terrible. The actors are like speaking English. What I'm saying is it's comprehensible as a movie, but every other element fails. The script, it just spectacular.
It is. At bare minimum, a movie.
It's actually, my parents, I talk about it that way because you have something like Birdemic, which I see as an unwatchable bad movie.
Right.
So
Birdemic is... I got so angry watching Birdemic.
I would agree.
It's not like The Room for me. It's not fun. But Troll 2 is. Troll 2 is very much like The Room for me. It is just a very watchable bad movie. Amazing to show to other people. Highly recommend it for that reason alone. It's very quotable. Like, literally every single time I say the phrase, oh my god, I'm either saying it like Troll 2 or I'm saying it like Rich Evans from Red Letter Media.
Oh my god. This laugh is the best. Sorry.
God. It's always going to be one of those two. But yeah, Troll 2, highly recommend. If it was a house, I want squishy floors to be the plant people that you're stepping on.
Yes.
I want goblins because that's who plays. Oh, also, the word troll is never in the movie.
Yeah, that's true. There's like nothing to do with Troll.
It's also not a sequel to the movie Troll. It's literally... So it came out under a different name, but it was then re-released as Troll 2. They were whoever was the distribution company was just trying to cash off of the popularity of Troll 1. It has literally nothing to do with it. It was supposed to be called The Goblins.
Wow.
So don't try to
Fabulous.
Troll. But it's fantastic. I also highly recommend the documentary Best Worst Movie. It has interviews with like all the actors, all the production staff. It was just a shit show. It's great.
Awesome. Connie, what you got?
I guess that I'm gonna do the Bye Bye Man.
Yeah!
Gay icon number 2.
Don't
He's
think
such
it
a good boy. Okay, so the Bye Bye Man, in case anyone has seen it, I'm gonna recap really short. These 3 college students are like, you know what's not suspicious? This house being really cheap, and we're gonna all live here together, paying like $100 a month. And that's probably exaggerated, but whatever. I know, right? I would totally live there too. And then they start hallucinating. The main character keeps finding like coins, because nothing's scarier than loose change.
Loose change is how I'm funding the trip to see you all this fall. Like
the Bye Bye Man is just leaving you coins.
Yeah, go, Randy, go.
He's a sweet guy. That's what he does.
He's a nice guy.
Coins. One of the girls gets like a cough, or the girl gets like a cough. So that's terrifying, I guess. And the movie's a lot of doing research and then trying to figure out who the Bye Bye Man is. And even though everyone keeps saying like, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, they're like, what should we say and think? The Bye Bye Man. You can't hear me? Let me say and think it louder, please.
I'm thinking as loud as I can.
I think like also there's a scene where like I almost said a corn cob, but that's Trolls too. There's a scene with like a train and this girl gets hit, you know, general stuff.
Yeah.
And then everyone's
doesn't he have a dog?
Friends and families. Yes, the dog is skinless because Bye Man, a good tall boy. He's got a good tall dog with him too.
I was about to say you can't be scared when you have a dog.
The dog, okay. In the defense of the scary category, the dog is skinless. But I guess you're right.
The first part of that movie,
anything, I will still give him pets.
The first part of that movie is so overexposed. Remember, like the very, very beginning, where like the dude comes in with a shotgun, kills his family.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
but it's all like super overexposed, and you look like you're looking out a window in the middle of the day.
It's right, but also like. It's like they just took everything and put a Snapchat filter on it. That blue one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the blue and pink. Oh my god.
So, but I genuinely think that if the movie didn't exist, it would have made a great original house. Because, like, you get hit by a train. There's, like, a greenhouse scene where you're in a greenhouse. The house itself is nice and cool, and it's got, like, stone stuff going on. You know how I'm really good at words? Stone stuff.
Yeah.
But there's also that scene at the very end. I don't know if you guys have actually seen this movie or anyone listening to this. Don't watch it. But there's this scene at the end where they're like being scared because the 3 things that happen before the Bye Bye Man appears is like coins, hallucinations, and a giant train in your house. So like there's all this train shit inside the house. I'm like, cool. I want a train inside my house, and then we can have a giant dog. And they have men in long coats.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we've come back to men in long coats.
That's that was my
scare zone, TBH.
I actually got a lot of good feedback on the men in long coats scare zone. People were like, my favorite's in here.
You did good.
Thanks. I tried really hard
so
to get
many
in, like, all
good
the weird
things in there.
I know. I was like, so my favorite movie is like super embarrassingly is The Crow. Like it's just my favorite. And I know I'm an angsty, greasy-haired 16-year-old boy inside. I promise. But it's my favorite. So I was like, well, at least Eric Draven gets to be in here. And then I was like, oh, but I need Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. And
oh my god, that was why I was so excited. I was trying to remember what it was in there that I was so happy you put in there.
Yeah. That was great. I got to put the Lost Boys in there and
also good.
All the drama codes. I love it. Yeah.
Blade.
I should have put the Bye Bye Man in, but I for some reason I got him confused with the Babadook, and I was like, well, Babadook has to.
They're the same person. The Babadook moonlights as the Bye Bye Man. When he's
no, they're boyfriends.
Yeah, but what about that one, the Candyman? What about Candyman?
Candyman's on the scare zone. On the collage I made.
Scary men in long coats can be polyamorous, Shelby.
Scary men
in
long coats.
Yeah, but the Candyman is made out of bees.
Not the biggest of the animals.
Not bees.
Bees. Bees.
Bees.
Okay. Well, I would call that a day. I think we did it, everybody.
Woo!
We finally made it.
We did some magic.
Please find us all on the tweeters. I'll put links in our YouTube description thing. Please buy Shelby's art. Sponsor her. It's so good. You will be blessed. And make sure to follow us on Twitter at mayhem_podcast. Hopefully soon we'll have some real news to discuss.
We can only hope.
Any other closing thoughts, guys?
Yeah. Huh?
Any other closing thoughts? Things you want to plug? Whatever.
Thoughts.
I have Mardi Gras shirts available.
Yeah. Get your party on all through Lent.
I'm wearing one of Shelby's shirts right now, actually. I wore it to work today.
Beautiful.
It's the Men in Black one, because I can get away with wearing that inside a library.
Nice. That's awesome.
Funny joke with us is that Connie wears your shirts, Shelby, like so frequently. Like almost every time we hang out, she's wearing one of your shirts.
That's true.
I'm actually buying the Lady Luck one tomorrow.
I'm like, bitch, I know that you have like 7,000 t-shirts.
I know. It's a problem. I bought a new t-shirt.
God damn it.
It's
okay, before we get into Connie's wardrobe, let's wrap it up. So, everybody good?
Ooh, can I plug myself real quick? Hi, I'm Connie Wayne. Follow me around my house and down the street. I need a stalker dude, so I don't feel so lonely.
Don't say that. Someone in this creepy ass fandom will do it.
They don't know me. I mean,
he lives in Tampa. Everybody, he's close to Busch Gardens.
Yeah, I am. Come to Busch Gardens. Try and find me there. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm about to hit the button, everybody.
All right.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Stay spooky, stay creative, stay weird, and we'll see you next time.